We're gonna start in just a second. Of course you do. Of course you do. Gray, you have time. Hello, Rebuke. Hello, Rogue.
Mayday! Come in! If anyone can hear me, my starship has been pulled into the anomaly. I find myself in a strange new world. It is a world with no sun, no stars. It is a world of anime. Comics. Here we go! Gaming. Movie. This world is the
Rogue Planets!
With your host, the Fat Mantis HD.
Welcome to Rogue Planet, now in HD. I am your host, the Fat Mantis, and we're getting into it today. We are going to have a lot of fun discussing all the matters that are affect nerddom today. This includes a call-in show. Now, here's the whole thing. Here's the trick of the show. If you know how to call in, if you know how to contact the Fat Mantis, then we most definitely want you to call in. However, if you don't know how to call in, then we do not want you to call in. Feel what I mean? Now, today we already have our first caller. She's been dying to do that. You guys have probably seen her down in the chat talking about wanting to use the bathroom. Shout out to everybody who's in the room, such as Rebuke TV, the Hold Up TV, Rogue Radio. It looks like all my professionals are here. Logie Bear, my man. We've got Gray, and we've got Fat Mantis, of course, and we've got others on their way. Thank you so much for stopping in. So before we get any further, I would love it if you liked, shared, and subscribed to this channel, to this video, and hit all the lovely things that you can hit for whatever app you're listening to us on. We love you. We love what's going on here. It's our community that makes Rogue Planet possible, and that's basically what I'm going to need from you guys. All right, we're just going to wait till Gray gets back, and while we wait, we're going to discuss all the crazy things that are going on in nerddom today. So the first one that internet will not stop yapping about is wild speculation about whatever's going on over at DC. Logie Bear says, so I just watched your video about Batgirl. Great news. Yes, everyone is talking about it. With the follow-up, behind-the-scenes footage looks embarrassing. So it's strange. I find it strange, and here's what it is. I think people take this opportunity to say the grass is always greener. I actually feel that this movie was being mocked relentlessly before it got canceled. Now that it's canceled, people go on and on acting like this is a travesty. This is a violation of reality. How could they do this to Leslie Grace, an actress, by the way, that they used to make fun of? Very much. I remember all the tweets. I remember all the things. People used to mock her and be like, she's not Batgirl. That's not Barbara Gordon. And all of a sudden, they have this supposed compassion for her. It's kind of silly. The first news I got to say is that this is not the first time a movie will be shelved. And, this is not the first time a movie has been shelved. And it certainly won't be the last time a movie will be shelved. The costume looked horrible. Well, you know what it is? It looked very CW. It looked very cheap. Now, we're going to get you on the call in just a minute, Gray. We're going to finish up talking about real quick about this whole Leslie Grace thing. For those of you who don't know, Batgirl, this movie, $70 million movie, was basically completed. And they, now that Discovery has merged with Warner Brothers, they are now Warner Discovery or Warner Brothers Discovery. Personally, I think they should drop the brothers. And the new CEO of it is David Zaslav, who from Discovery, and he looked at a lot of the projects. He looked at they were going to do a Black Superman. He was like, no, not happening. They say he personally watched Batgirl and he was like, negative. This is not connected with our brand. Now, a lot of people think this is horrible. In truth, he's really just trying to streamline the brand. Is anyone with me on this one? I feel like it's weird that people on Twitter act like they don't know what the deal is. And to help me with this conversation, a very complex issue, we are going to quickly invite up Gray Winthrop. Hello, Gray Winthrop. You are on with the Fat Mantis.
Oh wait, let's. Okay, so I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I feel like you're a little bit optimistic about this whole Discovery thing, but good on you.
I don't understand why it's a tragedy. Like, in what universe is this a tragedy?
Here's the thing, though. We're going to learn more during the investor call. I didn't even think about all the shows that might be on the bubble because of this. Batgirl, I think we talked about this earlier. I can take it or leave it. It is sad for the people who worked on it. Like I said about Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo animated movie. I feel bad for the animators. It's part of their portfolio. They work, they slave on this project.
Well, they can still put it on their portfolio. They certainly got paid.
Right.
Got paid the Hollywood ducat to do.
But whoever looks at their portfolio can't go and see it. You know what I'm saying? They can't just jump on HBO Max and look at this movie to see what they did.
However, Hollywood insiders will be forgiving about this kind of situation. They'll be like, "Oh, they'll probably when they're talking in the interview, they will look at the resume and they're like, "Oh, you were on the Batgirl. That's such a shame that happened. I heard what happened." They understand mergers and acquisitions. They absolutely understand it. Hold of TV says, "Not my HBO Max."
Yeah,
it's about to be no one's HBO Max. Is word on the street. They're going to get rid of it.
So there's going to be a lot of shows, like, for instance, I don't know if you remember at the beginning of Pride Month, they renewed Our Flag Means Death.
Right, I remember.
It might be back on the chopping block. Hacks is another one that was like a big Emmy contender, but nobody watches it.
Okay, so I watch it, and I can actually first person talk about it. The first season was good, and the second season, I don't know what happened.
Right. Well,
this wasn't good.
Maybe that's why I haven't heard a lot of hype for Hacks since the Emmy thing in the first season.
If you watch the pilot, you will be thoroughly annoyed because you know the premise, right?
Not really, no.
It's an old school comedian. I believe the actress's name is Jean Smart.
Right.
She plays the old school comedian, and she knows the old ways, and her jokes are drying out. And so her agent gets her a writer who's a young, non-binary, biological female who is an edgelord in every sense of the word. It's a cliche of what a young person is.
Right.
And then they're the odd couple. That's the basic premise of the show.
Hi, Hannah. How you doing?
Hannah Banana HD, welcome. Timmy is awesome, is also on the stream. Thank you so much. Logie says it's pretty hard to be bad to shelve a movie that has Michael Keaton and J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
I
also saw something right before you got on air. Supergirl, also on the chopping block now. Like I said earlier, I don't care about Supergirl.
Wait, which Supergirl? You're saying any future projects with
the Sasha Calle? Yeah,
right?
I guess it's Calle. Sasha Calle, Supergirl, on the bubble. As they say.
So my take on it, though, this is my whole take on it. So we all know this is not news to me, and it shouldn't be news to you. There have been rumors for months that the new heads of Warner Brothers, the new guys who are coming into power, do not like all this changing away, and they actually like Henry Cavill and the way DC was. There was all these rumors. I don't know about the way DC was, but I know they like Henry Cavill. There was
but I keep hearing these rumors about Henry Cavill. I feel like they're Henry Cavill fanboys who are making up these rumors.
Yeah, but didn't Variety spread the last one?
It was Deadline, and I'm still mad about Deadline. Like, what were they doing?
No, but here's what I'm saying.
I honestly think he got COVID. I think it was because of COVID.
Here's what I'm saying. No,
yeah.
No. In my wet dream, in my wettest of dreams, they're going to announce a Henry Cavill movie tomorrow.
We will see during the investor call.
Yeah. But is it possible that that's why they're attacking these new things? Because these new things are trying to erase the Snyderverse.
Right.
And also, is it possible, and a lot of people have said this, experts have said it from the beginning, not just me, but it makes no sense that like everyone out there is trying to make shared universes. One dimension to explain a bunch of franchises, right? Yet DC's like, we're going to make a bunch of movies that are not interconnected and there's going to be 3 Batmans and 4 Jokers and nothing's going to make any sense. Maybe the new guys are like, this is idiotic.
Right.
You need to streamline it. You need to stop having all these different versions. Batgirl is going to be a different version than what we know. Michael Keaton is being Batman alters the Batman that we know. And then maybe they don't like that.
I mean, we did know Michael Keaton as Batman already, I would argue, and we hadn't seen a Batgirl.
No one had seen it, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop diluting the brand by putting more hogwash out into the world.
I'm all for that, but they've already diluted the brand so much. I mean, we already have matter what. If
Warner
they bring
Brothers
back,
did, but this is Warner Discovery who's fixing the problem.
Okay, but they're not going to get rid of Pattinson. I think we can both agree.
They're not going to get rid of him or the Joker or those Joker's movies, but they can limit how much dilution they have, of course.
Yeah. How many more movies is Batfleck going to do though?
I don't know. Who knows if he'll do any more? Who knows if maybe he's down to keep doing cameos. I wouldn't mind that.
So what? Let me ask you, what would you do with the Flash? Because they have to do something with it, right? They have to make a decision.
I mean, I would shelve it too.
Yeah, if they're getting rid of this Batgirl, which features Michael Keaton, and they're getting rid of Supergirl, which, Supergirl and Michael Keaton were both going to be in the Flash, does that mean that they're getting rid of the Flash? They're going to write it off?
Yeah, I mean, that is a big write-off. But I will say, I wonder if there's a limit to how many times you can write off making bad movies as a studio, right?
Yeah.
But the major thing that I have to say is that everyone has been complaining for years and years. They're like, Warner Brothers sucks. Warner Brothers messes up. They're not giving us what I want. None of this makes sense. And so someone is coming here and they're like, I'm going to put a stop to these stupid bad movies and bad shows they've been making. And then suddenly everyone starts bitching. He's putting a stop to stupidity.
Right. No, I am not. I hate the way I hate the way CW has ruined the DC brand. I hate the way that DC movies have ruined the DC brand. It's such an iconic brand. It should be bigger than Marvel. It should have one, shared universe. It should have been a lot clearer and bigger than Marvel could ever dream.
Yes.
I feel like you're the people who have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and even Green Lantern and Green Arrow. They should be icons. They're not. They're
right.
like B-listers, and they should be A-listers. It makes no sense.
So David Zaslav comes in and he's cleaning house and he's looking at the crap that's being made, and all he is simply saying is, I do not want my logo on this.
Right.
This is not worthy of what we can do. Get it out of my sight.
Okay.
I think it's weird because I find it weird that everyone's acting like this is a tragedy as if they've been rooting for this movie. They haven't been. And aren't they happy that there is someone who's fixing the problem?
Well, it depends on what we're going to see as far as fixing when it comes to tomorrow. Because I have to say, there is stuff on HBO Max that I'm going to miss. Like, they have a really good library of movies, And I'm kind of annoyed that they're taking away the kids' stuff, too. Are they going to take away the Studio Ghibli stuff? You're laughing, but a lot of people watch HBO Max for that stuff.
Here's what I'm laughing at.
You don't care. doesn't mean that other
It's
people
not
don't
that I don't care. It's that it's not going to happen in a million years. I will bet you $100 right now that is not happening. People are arguing. People are see the sky is falling. You do not buy a studio that has a plethora of movies and not utilize it in some way. All of those things are going to be on the HBO section of their new app. I friggin' promise you. I bet you $100 right now.
Okay.
People are like, oh, they're going to shut down all their kids' things. They're going to shut down everything. The sky is fine. Why? Because Batgirl says so?
Well, no, the kids
Probably
thing
Leslie
is pretty,
Grace who spread that rumor while she's on her way to the unemployment line.
No. It's pretty clear. They are canceling everything kid related. They are canceling and getting rid of all the kid stuff. I don't know if they're getting rid of studio.
It's not. If it happens, it's not permanent. It's going to be put into the new app. I promise you.
Okay.
There's no reason they spent this money.
I hope Discovery is paying you for your shilling. By the way,
what it is people are just trying to make clickbait things. Hello, Elise Ruma. Elise Luna says, "Arg, the music scared me. Am I playing scary music? Is it too loud?
It's not too loud for me, but." Yeah, maybe on the other apps they're hearing.
Shaolin says we need Cavill back. The Rock is annoying AF with this Black Adam shiz. Dude, he thinks he's bigger than Superman. I know. I do want to see them fight in a movie, though.
God.
Well, he says nobody wanted a Supergirl or a Batgirl movie.
I would say, you know what? If it was done right, I would absolutely want a Supergirl or Batgirl movie. Don't talk for everybody.
Yeah, actually.
Now, however, I love female heroes, but neither of these spoke to me, and it doesn't have to do with being woke or anything. It looked disjointed. The way they were presenting these characters, they're not my Supergirl, not my Batgirl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Barbara Gordon. I love the Chronicles of Batgirl. I love everything she has. I would love to see a movie. I would like to see a Batman movie. Like, get Batman right first, then give me a Batgirl movie.
Right, exactly. Here's the thing. Give me a stable Bat family with Robin, Darkwing, Nightwing, and then bring in Batgirl, and then let's have a Batgirl movie that's connected to that Bat family universe. And that would be something. That would be.
I absolutely agree. And like I said, the thing that's going to haunt us forever is, he might never come back for this. He might come back for cameos, but he might not come back for a full movie. Not getting a Ben Affleck Batman movie where we get to see what happened to Robin and at least have like a guest appearance by Nightwing.
Yeah,
it really should happen. I wouldn't mind if they adapted into the Red Hood or whatever, or no, Behind the Red Hood.
Right.
That story where he comes back.
I just don't want Killing Joke. Let's just not do Killing Joke with Barbara Gordon. But other than that, I'd like to see some.
We need a Fat Mantis movie.
Yes.
We do. I save a lot of people's lives. Huh?
And and as far as Supergirl, I think that a lot of people would enjoy a fun, lighthearted Supergirl movie.
I like Supergirl, and actually, I'm not gonna front. I actually liked Melissa Benoist.
Oh, a lot of people did.
I did. I just thought the writing on the show was really bad, but I wouldn't mind if they gave her a good, well-written movie and they put her in live action film. I would be into it.
I feel like Supergirl, the show fell off immediately when it went to the CW. I think it was the budget and some writers, and Callista Flockhart left the show. It was a dip in quality immediately. So the first season was fun. There's some things I would have done differently, but it was enjoyable. As soon as they went to the CW, like I said, CW just ruins everything it touches. So
You know what? Not everything. There was a time when it was in my opinion, the gold standard of superheroes.
Very briefly at the beginning of Arrow and the beginning of Flash.
Yeah, they had some really good opening seasons for each of them, right?
I would even say the first season of Legends of Tomorrow, even though you don't like that show, was a lot of fun.
Out of all of them, I definitely did enjoy the first season better than anything. So, but they switched up the cast so much.
I can see why people would have dropped it off, you know.
So Ken W asks, who's on the horn? This is Gray Winthrop of who used to do a true crime podcast called Grim Inquiries. And so they're here. They're actually
now I do what I want.
Now she does what she wants. She's gonna actually talk about a particular fandom, but we started talking about everything going on out of Warner Brothers. They're selling. You're not selling. They're shelving Batgirl, this movie they just completed.
Here's another thing.
AJ, what up? How are
before we end this, thank you, Typical Rebel. Before we end this, I gotta say, they better not touch Perry Mason. You know, I
like that show.
Yes. You know, they have new showrunners for the next season. They didn't cancel it. They got new showrunners. But if they cancel it, I'm going on the warpath.
Yeah, actually that show surprised me. It started off kind of slow and then it got really good, and I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, me too. I really love it.
Yo, one's in the chat if you like Perry Mason. No, we're talking about HBO Perry Mason. This isn't your granddad's Perry Mason.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it and you have HBO, check out Perry Mason, the 2020 version. It's a different thing. It's a very grim, dark, edgy version of Perry Mason.
Ken says it's Brendan Fraser's fault that girl got sold away. Brendan Fraser is the new Stephen. No, Brendan Fraser was the first Stephen Dorff, wasn't he?
What I was thinking about? Michael Keaton, didn't he make a movie about this happening to him?
Being an old washed-up superhero? Yeah, Birdman.
Yes.
Which was a great movie. But
I feel like this is life imitating art right now.
Yo, do you think he's pissed, or do you think he just cared because he's got a paycheck?
He might be pissed because he could have done more with the Vulture. Probably he could have been in super Spider-Man movies, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of a stupid cameo in Morbius, you know.
So Elisa Luna says that she was looking forward to it, and so I was looking forward to it, but I do my argument is that I understand from a business perspective what they're trying to do, because there was a lot of weird things being greenlit, and then they just merged, and the new boss was like, "What is this nonsense?" You know. It's just quality control, you know. So I understand that. Honestly, I hope that one day we can see a Batgirl movie that has a full $200 million budget. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, like I said, but it's got to be connected. I'm done with all these random DC movies that are not part of anything, you know.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Find us all footage and we can piece it together. So anyway, I predict good things coming out of this. I think it's at least an attempt to get DC back where it should be. And I honestly think that one day, maybe in a couple of years, we're going to be allowed to see the movie.
Hopefully. It'll be interesting to see what happened.
After their current strategy is done, you know.
Justice for Brendan Fraser, man.
But you were, but you came here to talk about a very particular fandom, didn't you?
Yes. First off, I want to say fuck Netflix.
I want to let you know that our guests' opinions are their own.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I got no loyalty. They're not.
Yeah, you're not sponsored by Netflix. You don't have to worry.
Not the way Discovery is sponsoring me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right. Discovery needs to send you a paycheck.
Yeah.
But no. So okay, I'm here to talk about the show First Kill.
Kill vampires. Yeah. No.
Yes, it is a vampire urban fantasy show. It only had one season. It debuted in June of this year on Netflix. And it was kind of a sleeper hit. It really was. I mean, there's a lot of people. Okay, so it got canceled. Let's start with that. Got canceled yesterday. A lot of people already knew that there was trouble in the air because Netflix and most of these guys nowadays announces renewals pretty fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they don't announce a renewal, it means that they're probably going to cancel it. However, the First Kill fan base has been trying to make it trend. They've been doing watch parties every week where they were trying to get it back into the top 10.
I don't know. Maybe it's because of the circles I run in, but I would have thought it was popular. I see people tweeting about it all the time.
Right.
I see people talking about it all the time.
Here's the thing. It did relatively well. When it debuted, it was around the same time as Stranger Things, the first volume, and Umbrella Academy, and it was in the top 10 for like 2 weeks during that period. That's pretty good for a show that a lot of people are right now saying it sucked, it was crap. Why are you surprised? Well, I mean, it stood up to a lot of other stuff. Meanwhile, and I don't mean to okay, so let me describe First Kill first. It is
I finally saw for this episode. I saw some like trailers and what it's about, and I'm like, wow. That was my impression because I had no idea what it was about, and then when I figured it out.
Okay. So I'm a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan from way back. Mm-hmm. This is in that spirit, in that it is it's a story of a young vampire who falls in love with a young monster hunter. Two teenage girls. They meet in high school,
right?
And it's forbidden love.
And so wait, hold on, just so we're clear, they go to high school.
Mm-hmm.
One is a vampire killer.
Yes. And
the other is a vampire who's in high school.
Right.
They go to high school in this world.
Yes.
Okay, and then they meet.
Yes. Up. Okay. The unique thing about this is that there are nighttime vampires in this show, right? There are vampires who suck blood. They have to suck blood. They have to, sleep during the day. They can get killed by silver and crosses and all that stuff and stakes. But the main character, who is a high school student, is not that type of vampire. She is one of the original vampires, which means that her family are basically another race of humanoid as opposed to a monster race.
Okay, so does she drink blood?
She needs blood in order to power her up. If she doesn't drink blood, basically she'll go insane, but she'll still live. The premise is basically in the first episode is that this young girl, Juliet, her family is rich. They're very, fancy. Her father's a district attorney. They all want her to go out and kill someone and drink some blood, because she's been taking blood pills, pills with blood in them, in order to stop her from going insane or freaking out and go wilding out, basically.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interject.
Yeah.
We didn't. I want to clarify something that I think is everyone is being misled and being led, not about your show. Something we were talking about in the past. Because I just saw it on my text. Somebody said, "Oh, looks like HBO Max is done for." Okay.
Michelle needs to clarify
shenanigans right now. The sky is falling things. Discovery Plus and HBO Max are being merged into a super app. And if it's not a canceled show that's on HBO Max or a movie, you're going to get it on that app.
They're going to cancel a bunch of shows tomorrow.
Yeah, so don't worry, guys. Sex in the City, The Next Generation will still be available to you or whatever.
Gossip Girl is probably going to go.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back, I don't want to tell the whole story.
Yeah, don't tell the whole story.
Right. I just wanted to explain why a vampire is in high school. It's not like Edward Cullen, from Twilight. They have a whole backstory of why these vampires are the way they are, basically.
Why does a vampire go to high school? I don't get it.
Because she was born like a baby vampire. She's growing up.
So this is her first time in high school. It's not like in Twilight where
she's literally a 16-year-old girl.
Will she live forever?
She will, theoretically. They haven't explained everything about these vampires. That's another thing. I really enjoyed the lore of the story. It was actually based. This series was based on a short story by a pretty popular science fiction, fantasy, young adult author, Victoria Schwab. She has done these books called Shades of Magic, which is like a fantasy young adult series, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I believe is going to be turned into a movie soon. So, like, she's a very prolific author. Hey, Lainey, how you doing?
Welcome.
And so, yeah, she wrote a short story about this Romeo and Juliet story of the vampire who meets the vampire hunter, and they fall in love. And she like built up this lore for the show. And I will admit the show doesn't have the greatest special effects or CGI. Sometimes it's kind of laughable, but it's still a fun, campy show. And I really enjoyed it. A lot of people really enjoyed it.
Here's Hold Up. Here's Hold Up. Here's Hold Up. Hold Up is outing himself about the text. Who sent me the text who saying that HBO Max was done? I wasn't going to say your name. He's like, I want Netflix in the city.
He has no shame. He wants his carry.
Elite. Flash has really gone down to tubes. The first like 2 or 3 seasons are very good, but after that it just starts. You don't want to see the recent Flash stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. Okay, so vampires in high school annoy me, but at least this is her first time in high school.
Right.
So she doesn't. Right. There's no long backstory. We're not going to have flashbacks of her in Victorian times eating other lesbians.
No, because she's only a 16-year-old girl. And as far as why her family acts like normal people, like for instance, her father is a district attorney, and like goes out and has a job. It's because they're the vampire, the original vampires, the special vampires, the daywalking vampires. They made a pact like that they would act like normal people, and so that they wouldn't be hunted. Basically, that's their thing.
So wait, hold on. If she's not blood sucking, or like if she's not a creature of the night, what fun is this?
Well, okay, so her older sister on the show is more of a typical vampire, even though she is one of the daywalkers too. She goes out and hunts every night, right? They don't need to drink blood all the time, but her sister is like a sociopath, basically. But she's like what we would expect from a vampire. And she's like, I have all these powers. Why wouldn't I do this? They are not sparkly, Alice.
Yeah, Lee says, are they sparkling? You say they're not. There's no sparkling happening.
No.
Is anybody bursting into flames?
Like I said, only the lower form of vampire.
So the secondary vampires are burning up in the light.
Right. So
is there a possibility that she gets turned into one?
Well, the girl, the Juliet I've talked about, would not be turned into one because she is the daywalker.
Because
she cannot be killed by regular means.
Right, but it would be interesting that maybe if she gave into too much bloodlust, she would end up being one of those monsters. That might be an interesting take.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, if she doesn't drink blood, she'll go insane in like berserker mode. That's the one thing that she has to watch out for.
She seems like a really tame, like she seems like a baby vampire. Like
right,
she's very tame.
That's the appeal of it to people, is that she is this cute nerd, and she happens to be a vampire who like is struggling with her lust for blood.
At least as I had to ask.
And then here's the other thing: is that the monster hunter, she has her own family. What's really funny about this is that the girl who plays the monster hunter, who is the love interest for the vampire, she was in Vampires versus the Bronx.
Oh,
one of my favorite vampire movies.
That's a great movie.
She played, I think she played the girl who had a YouTube channel, and she was like an influencer in the movie. Do you remember that character?
I do.
Yeah. So that girl, and the actual girl, I love her. She's from the Bronx, so she's legit. And so we meet her family. We learn about the clan of vampire hunt, or not just vampire, but all kinds of monster hunters. So there's like ghouls in this. There's, other types of.
And she comes from
monsters.
a family of so they're not just vampire hunters; they're demon hunters, and she comes from a long line of them.
Right. Basically.
Do they have powers?
Yes.
They have vampire killing powers.
Here's the thing: they are normal people, but they've been training basically all their lives. They have like special weapons and stuff that are supposed to, help them with their The show where the mom was a cannibal?
Santa Clara Diet. So if zombies.
Oh yeah, that was a great show that was canceled too soon by Netflix, by the way.
Elise wants everyone to know that she is Team Edward. She's Team.
What?
I'm Team Edward too. What am I talking about? Jacob's an interloper. He's just trying to steal.
Jacob was ruined by the ending, but let's not get.
He just stuck the whole way through. Just let the couple do their thing, man. Why he's like,
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because I only read the books.
Oh,
Jacob was less creepy in the books. Anyway, let's not get into
that. Yeah, we don't have to get into that. Will be the eternal debate that will destroy every stream ever.
Yeah, Jacob versus Edward. Yeah.
So Matt says I'm late. What are we talking about? So you did miss the conversation about everything going on about the biggest story right now, Batgirl, the future of HBO, and all these things. Just to let you know, Gray is a big I don't want to say hater, but
no, I'm a pessimist, I would say.
You're a pessimist, and I am an optimist. I think things are good. Things are going to be good.
I think that Discovery is going to gut HBO and replace everything with reality TV shows about the Duggars. I don't know what they're gonna do.
They're gonna use Warner Studios to do more Duggars reality.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know.
I missed Batgirl. Bummer. That is a bummer. I saw your video on it. I commented. I know everyone's got strong feelings about this. But right now we're talking about First Kill, a show that was just canceled by Netflix. It's funny. People are only paying attention to it now that it's got canceled. I literally
had a fandom. It had a fandom. I swear.
I was on YouTube. I recently stopped paying for YouTube. I was like, what am I doing paying for this crap? Stopped paying for it. So commercials started coming back, and literally just today, I saw a commercial for First Kill, even though it's canceled.
What is Netflix is on crack? I gotta say, because like I said. First 2 weeks, it was in the top 10. It did like 30 million views, I think, in the first 2 weeks or something like that, or first week, I think even. It was trending all this time. As soon as they didn't renew it in the first 2 weeks, renew First Kill was like on the trending page all the time. Not the top trending, but for you trending. So like. There was a fan base almost immediately. Brazilians were into it, and when Brazilians pick up a fandom, that means that it's like a real fandom.
Oh, then that's it is possible. I don't know how they spend their advertising dollars. It is possible that Netflix themselves, forces within Netflix themselves, want the Save First Kill campaign alive, and that's why they started sending out more advertisements for it.
Yeah, you know what's funny though, and I was going to bring this up earlier, but I wanted to make a disclaimer. I don't want to compare the two shows, but there was another gay-friendly show that was debuted around the same time as First Kill. It was Heartstopper on Netflix.
I've never even heard of that. What is?
Here's the thing. First Kill, 30 million views, in the first 2 weeks, right? Heartstopper, about 14 million views in the first 2 weeks. Netflix
they need to advertise better,
right? But Netflix was on their social media talking about Heartstopper. Had like crossover advertising between Stranger Things and Heartstopper, so they were like using Stranger Things to do it. And then, of course, when Pride Month started, they immediately renewed Heartstopper for 2 more seasons. What's the difference between Heartstopper and?
So is Heartstopper good? Should I be watching that instead of?
Well, here's the thing. It's just a cutesy romance between 2 male high school students.
Oh, is that? Oh, now if I may ask, is that why you don't find it as appealing? That that
Here's the
Heartstopper
thing.
is gay and First Kill sounds lesbian. Am I correct?
Right. First Kill is very lesbian.
It's not just
There are
lesbian.
two lesbian characters.
Elise, no need to apologize. It's all good.
Heartstopper, I did not watch it because I've already seen Sex Education, and I didn't need to see another sad British boys show from about high school.
Oh, they're Brits? Forget it.
Honestly, it's just not. It's not my thing. Like, you say this about certain shows. Certain shows just aren't your thing.
Yeah, it's all right to say that.
Teenage boys having a romance for whatever reason. I'm a woman, middle-aged woman. It's just not for me, But urban fantasy with and I will say, just to make it clear, one of the things I actually like about First Kill is that the romance is very wholesome. You do not see any nudity. You don't because these are 16-year-old girls. It's not
actually that's what I want to do. Are they played by adults?
They are young adults. They're I think maybe 20, 21.
Okay, so
you
it is
only
legal.
You only see them at most making out. There is no nudity. There's
no hot sex scenes.
No. They sleep in the same bed, but it appears that they do nothing but sleep.
Okay, because I feel like that's what the Twilight was really missing. There weren't any good sex scenes in Twilight.
Well, maybe Interview with the Vampire will give us what we wanted as far as that.
So you know what's funny? Interview with the Vampire is going to hit every sexuality.
Oh, yeah.
And Heartstoppers is just gay, and First Kill is just for lesbians.
Yes.
And you could skip them both and go straight to Interview. You'll see all.
I mean, honestly, if they do it right, Interview with a Vampire is gonna be probably for more people, more mainstream.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, because it should have a fair amount of violence. It should have, lots of sex and sexuality. I'll say that.
I mean, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, please online Interview with the Vampire, the show on AMC.
Yeah.
Check it out. It looks pretty good.
So yeah, I am looking forward to that as a vampire aficionado, other than Twilight. But yeah, I'm still pretty bitter about this whole thing because on Amazon Prime, I don't know if you heard about The Wilds.
Okay, so you know what's funny? You know who actually recommended The Wilds to me?
Who?
Clint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our old boss, Clint from Spoon, was like, you need to check out The Wilds. And I looked at it and I was like, this looks like a show for teenage girls. And he's like, it's way more intelligent than it has any right to be. And
it just got canceled. And guess what? The main characters were lesbians.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should have watched it. Should I?
Yeah.
Should I watch it? Is that?
I mean, it might be a great first season. I have not watched it. I've heard a lot about it now because people have been talking about how Gentleman Jack just got canceled, but it's HBO, so it's possible that that's just a byproduct of everything that's going on. But they canceled it right around the time that Our Flag Means Death got renewed. Mm-hmm. So there is a sense that Hollywood really likes gay men, but they don't care that much about women, having romances on their shows. It's disappointing because it's not that I'm looking for equality, but even just a few of these shows would be so great to have for.
I'm looking for equality. I hate to sound like everyone's gonna be like going SJW or whatever, but you're right. Why can't there be lesbian shows? Why can't there be gay shows?
Yeah,
why can't there be trans shows?
Generally, it seems like they want to hit a quota of look. We love the LGBT community. We have Heartstopper, and that's it. That's all they need,
or something. If you're Hulu, you have got Love Victor.
Right, and for instance, Love Victor is another example of. It's young gay boys. I don't care about young gay boys. I'm sorry. No offense to young gay boys, but that, like, I would like to see something that appeals to me. And like I said, a wholesome lesbian romance is more appealing to me, you know, as a viewer, just because it's something a little bit more relatable, and it's something different than what we've seen so far. Than the typical, this is something that we can show our LGBT viewers. Either it's something like oh god, what are the names? There's been a few shows, Queer as Folk. Like something like Queer as Folk. Okay, we've seen that already, you know. But that only appeals to gay men.
But however, I would beg to differ because remember when you know how we've been watching TV forever and you notice that shows seem like they're rehashes of other shows, but sometimes they get it done better than the original cast or writers or whatever. They could technically keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? There doesn't have to be one definitive story of a few gay guys who live in the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And they can update, but you know. Then you see, like, for instance, I don't know if you heard about the L Word being updated.
I think that everything's made a comeback, right? Everything's
right.
You know.
It was a mess, you know. So yeah, like I do think that we do need diversity in these shows. Like, gay guys shouldn't only have to settle for a certain type of. Oh, Matt. Okay, I'm not even gonna repeat that. Mantis can repeat that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to repeat that.
Yeah, right.
But okay, so yeah. we've got this going on.
Yes.
So you're recommending First Kill.
I am recommending First Kill, and if you have the time, tweet out, you know, #Save First Kill, you know, or like bother Netflix on their Instagram or, you know, or their Twitter account. Just let them know that people out there do care. I will never understand how a show that has more viewers gets canceled as opposed to something that has less viewers. But
I agree with you. That sounds like a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, it feels like we need to remind them that we need more interesting shows that aren't just rehashes of the same thing again and again, you know?
Yeah, so what other shows or what other things are you watching? What other news is dropping in nerddom that's you know, tickling your feathers? Let's put it like that.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm watching Better Call Saul. I'm gonna admit that this past week I committed the sin of watching it while you were doing your fanboy modeling school.
You animal!
But I had to because Walt and Jesse were on.
Pardon us for having some technical difficulties.
We are actually here. Okay. But
okay.
So yeah, I won't do that next week probably. I'll wait until you guys are off air and then I'll watch it as usual. But because of the extreme hype for that episode, I had to watch it as soon as it came up on AMC.
I am a huge Better Call Saul fan. I can't even stress how much I love it.
Yeah.
So it's
I like it better than Breaking Bad, honestly, at this point. Yeah.
Yep, I would agree. But you know, that's unfortunate. That happens with a lot of spin-offs because they at least have the education of hindsight.
Yeah.
Where they could see what they did wrong in Breaking Bad and like we could do this one better.
Yeah,
and a lot of times after you're successful at something, they give you more budget for your next one, and then you know, you're able to do more.
It's funny because I remember when the show starts off slow, you know, and I remember being like, yeah, but it feels like nothing's happening. What's going on? But eventually, you get into the rhythm of Better Call Saul, and now an episode like Nippy is more interesting to me actually than most of what happened in the first half of this season, which was all cartel stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so funny that I'm now used to the tone of Better Call Saul, and I didn't like the fact that they tried to like force Breaking Bad action into the show.
To be honest, I really wish this show did a better job of balancing
right
the lawyer stuff and the cartel stuff and the drug action, and like they didn't hit a sweet spot. There would be several episodes in a row that were all about lawyering and being cool lawyer and conmenery, and that's all cool. And then they'd be like, well, now we're gonna do 5 episodes of cartel stuff, and it's just uneven and all over the place.
Yeah, I think part of what bothers me about that too is that we never got any nuance. We never got like backstory for the cartel members that I was hoping for in Better Call Saul. They are just the same 2-dimensional bad guys that they were in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And that's a shame. But, you know, like for instance, Howard Hamlin, when we first started watching Better Call Saul, I hated Howard Hamlin, right?
No, I hated him to the end. I never gained any sympathy.
Well, okay, I'll say I hated him a lot more back in the beginning, right?
Here's the thing that will never allow me to have any sympathy forever. Later on, they were like, you should have sympathy for him because he really did love Saul's brother, and they had a deep relationship, and he has a wife who's estranged with him, and all these things. However, he did actively participate in holding Saul back and ruining his life and career in horrible ways. He was a horrible man. I'm glad he got what he got.
I don't want to get into too far into it because people should go watch Better Call Saul. I don't want to spoil everything, but I will say I don't think that anything he did is illegal. And I don't think
it's illegal to be a dick. He's a dick.
I know he is a dick, but I do think that he was following Chuck's.
Well, he did it, so I don't have to,
I don't think that he had any bad intentions. I don't think that basically it's a complex thing. Like that's what I love about most of the characters in Better Call Saul is that they are very complex. They're very it's almost over. There's two more
episodes left, and it's pretty intense.
Like Chuck from the beginning until the end. Chuck was a hateable character, but he was very I found him very compelling. I was sympathetic at times with Chuck, you know, but Chuck was a villain towards Jimmy. You know, he was definitely a villain, but he never did anything evil. You know.
Yeah.
So I really just enjoyed how they built up the characters in Better Call Saul. You know. Even
Saul is an amazing character. He's one of the greatest television characters ever. Yeah. I don't know. Did anyone in the chat? Did you guys watch Breaking Bad? Do you watch Better Call Saul? If you don't watch Better Call Saul, what prevents you from watching Better Call Saul? Is it too stuffy?
I'm talking about the character on Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
we're not talking about Chuck out of nowhere.
No, we're talking about a character named Chuck on Better Call Saul. Saul's brother, in fact. But any other genre pieces that you want to recommend to people that you think people should check out? Anything like that?
I'm trying to think. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to watch Paper Girls just to support a teenage girl show. I feel
is it out yet?
It is on at least the first. I think for at least the first episode is on Amazon Prime.
Did you read Paper Girls?
I read the first volume.
Right. So it's safe to say that anyone it's Stranger Things with slightly different.
But it came out first.
Yeah, but it's still basically it's going to seem very
I saw I did see some comparisons online, but it was written before Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, that's awesome. So that looks like that's all the time we have for Rogue Planet. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being our main call-in person, making this awesome. Do you have any final thoughts on any of the topics we talked about today?
I guess we're gonna have to talk again soon, or at least I'll hear you talk again soon about the investor call tomorrow. The WB Discovery investor call is going to be very interesting. So
it's going to be there's going to be so much discussion. Basically, I'm hoping there's a few announcements so that we can make fun of Grace Randolph for being wrong all the time. I would love to publicly do that on Twitter and other things like that, because I think that her total analysis of this is totally insane and off, as usual.
Well, she is hysterical, so yeah.
She is hysterical psycho. But it will settle itself out because I have a feeling we're in for some good announcements, and then it can finally shut a lot of these people up who are going on. And they're, I saw people tweeting saying they're like, Aquaman 2 is gonna get canceled. I'm like, no, it's not, you idiot. There's just 0% chance it will ever happen.
Yeah, I think Aquaman 2 and Shazam are definite. A lot of other stuff is in flux. Oh, and Black Adam, of course.
Black Adam's coming out. Shazam's coming out. Absolutely. These things are absolutely coming out. They can't compare any of those movies to what Batgirl was, which was a backdoor, HBO only, low budget for high budget films.
Right.
You know what I mean? 70 million as opposed to 200 or 250 million. Is a huge difference.
Matt, they filmed the second season of Peacemaker, and James Gunn said it's going to happen.
Yes, I was tweeting about that, and then suddenly he was like, he didn't say it to me. James Gunn did not reply to my at him when I added him, but he did state, he was like, yes, Peacemaker safe, guys, and I was like, thank you. And once again, I want to just point out that all these things that seem to be safe happen to be in the Snyderverse. Go figure.
Yes.
And all these things that aren't safe seem to not be. That's all I'm saying. But guys, this month, thank you for being here on Rogue Planet. This month of Rogue Planet, we're gonna have a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, my man Matt, who's in the chat, we haven't figured out an exact date, but he's going to be on the show. We're going to be discussing fandom of his choice. We're going to get into all sorts of gritty details and fun. Further things we're going to be doing within the next month or two. We're going to have a return to Friend Date. I'm going to do an episode where I just do an episode of Friend Date here on Rogue Planet. For those of you who don't know, that was the game show I hosted back on Spoon. A lot of fun there. And in honor of that, I produced another game show called Chaotic Evil. We're going to get Bomb, the host, to come on here, and we'll do an episode all about Chaotic Evil. It's going to be a great time. Me and Public are still going to do our fancy movie hour, and we're going to get a pretentious foreign film and talk about it. And I should have a return to Cincy Star. We're going to be doing a Battlestar Galactica episode.
Oh, yeah, the new one.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about all this stuff. You got a lot of great things happening here on Rogue Planet on the following months. I'm sorry that I was on hiatus for a little bit. A lot of personal stuff going down, but I do love you guys. Yeah, there's no way they're canceling Aquaman 2. They just paid Ben Affleck to do shoots on it. There's no way they're going to get rid of that, right? But this is the Fat Mantis signing off. Did you want to do any plugs or shout outs?
Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Gray Winthrop, and Twitter if you want to see me fangirl about like random stuff like First Kill. That's twitter.com/Gray Winthrop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually I will stream Gray again and some other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. But yeah, this is the Fat Mantis signing off. Thank you for stopping in, guys. I've had a good time. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of the week. What's going on with the
gaming?
There we go. That's the sign off.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a little technical difficulties to type it up. But thank you for choosing Rogue Planet. Remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and do all the fun, beautiful things you do on whatever app you're listening to this. This is the Fat Mantis. Tune in to Run for the Fat Mantis every morning, 11:30 a.m., and keep coming back to Rogue Planet every Wednesday. Until next time, ciao for now.